Hey everyone, this is Andy from GizChina, and today we're going to unbox the UMi Iron Pro. This is the second generation version of the UMi Iron with a few differences to the design and the specification, and we'll take a look at those in a moment. So as you can see, the UMi Iron Pro comes in your normal UMi packaging. It's like a silver packet with a black insert which slides out like so. And if we open this up, we have the UMi Iron Pro on the inside. Now the first thing that you'll notice is that the packaging is quite untidy. The USB is just sat there like that. Now I have opened this myself already once, but when this arrived to me, this is exactly how the packaging came. So I don't know if this is a review phone that's been around to a few different people, or if this is actually how the phone will come when you order it online, but you know, not particularly nice. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, but first impressions and all that, it'd be nice to see that nice and tidied away. Anyway, so what we've got here, we've got the UMi Iron Pro itself. We've got the USB Type-C data cable. So UMi have updated the USB to Type-C for the Iron Pro, and we have an EU charger there as well for charging up the internal battery. We've also got a UMi Iron Pro guide there. It's like a warranty card and a quick start instruction guide, and that's it. There's nothing else in there. There are no earphones and no other bits and bobs, just the phone, USB Type-C data cable, and also that charger. Alright, let's take a look at the actual phone itself. Let's move the packaging out of the way and focus on the phone. So if you're already quite familiar with the original UMi Iron, you're going to see that the Iron Pro is very similar in design. It's got the same 5.5 inch 1920 by 1080 Full HD LTPS display. We've also got this skylight notification at the bottom, which basically, instead of a single LED, we've got this beam light which shines at the bottom of the phone, reminiscent of the Oppo Find 7 and N3. We've got a scanner here at the top, which is for your heart rate monitor. We've also got a front-facing camera, and if you turn the phone over, you can see that we've got the same aluminium construction as the UMi Iron Pro, with with plastic at the top and the bottom, but now we've got a fingerprint scanner in the rear too. So overall, cosmetically, the phone hasn't changed all that much from the original UMi Iron. The only difference being we have a fingerprint scanner on the rear now. Internally, there are a few differences to this phone. The chipset is now a MediaTek MT6753 octa-core running at 1.3 GHz, and it's now running 3 GB of RAM. We've still got 16 GB of internal memory. It's got 2 nano SIM cards, or you can choose a single SIM and a micro SD card. We've got 3.5mm headphone jack in the top, 13 megapixel Sony IMX214 rear camera and dual LED flash on the back, and we've got an 8 megapixel OV8858 camera on the front for selfies. So it has all the bits and bobs that we're hoping to see. It's also got a 3100 mAh battery, which apparently, according to the UMi specifications page on the UMi Digi website, that will last you 10 to 12 days of standby time, which sounds a little bit optimistic to me, but you know, you never know, it might actually work. Anyway, so that's the specs. The design itself, as we say, it's very similar to the UMi Iron. We've got a SIM tray on the side, which is for those nano SIMs, or a single SIM and micro SD card. There is no SIM ejector tool in the package, so if you don't have one, you'll have to use a paperclip or something. We've got that USB Type-C in the base. Power and volume rocker on the left hand side, and you can see we've got these screws along the edge of the phone, so you could possibly, if you wanted to, unscrew that and you know, fix the device if it ever broke. Fit and construction of the Iron Pro does seem a little bit better than the original Iron. My sample of the UMi Iron had issues between the gap of the plastic and the metal, but the Iron Pro does seem much better. The gaps seem much more consistent across the rear, and overall it does seem like it's a better made phone. Alright, let's take a look at the actual device and what features it has. So as you can see, it's already on. Just going to flick it open. And as you can see, already it's asking me for a PIN, and that's because I've set up the rear fingerprint scanner on the phone. So what we can do, I'm just going to tap that, and then it unlocks. You can see it's very fast, it's very quick. Let's try that again, just make sure it's not a fluke. So just tap the rear, and then it unlocks. So you don't need to wake up the screen on the UMi Iron Pro before touching the fingerprint scanner. It's a one-touch fingerprint scanner, and it's surprisingly quick. However, setting up the fingerprint scanner is quite slow. If I just go into the security setting and show you how to set that up. So obviously we have to put in a code before we add a new fingerprint. Okay, let's add another fingerprint. So here we go, fingerprint 1. Sorry, add fingerprint, there we go. So it's telling me I should touch the fingerprint scanner on the rear, so I'll do that. So it's not doing anything, one moment. There we go, now it's starting to work. And this is a really laborious and slow. There we go, you can see it's not as fast as some other phones when we're setting up the fingerprint scanner. And actually when I first got the phone, it took me a good few minutes to get my first fingerprint scan saved away. As you can see, it's not registering each time. And it's telling me to move my finger even though I am actually moving the position of it. There we go, so you got to move your fingerprint around. Come on UMi Iron Pro, you can do it. So a really slow process, but once it's in there, there you go, once it's in there it's pretty fast. So let's turn that off again, and there we go, nice and quick to unlock. Don't need to press the buttons on the side. There you go, oops. There you go, it unlocks. So not bad, it's pretty fast. One setup, but actually setting it up, it's quite slow. Alright, now with the screen on anyway, you can see that we have the black bezels around the 5.5-inch full HD display. That's quite common for 2015 phones. And you can also see that across the bottom we've got on-screen navigation, which is the same as the original UMi Iron. It does look rather nice, and I have to say I do like the icons in the UMi ROMs. They look really nice and clean. Looks very modern. And there's no junk in here so far that I can see, unless you want to say that the UHealth app is a bit of junk, and the Viper for Android. Viper for Android is actually it's actually a cool little system which should improve the sound of audio. So it's not junk, should I say? It's a bit of extra bloat that you wouldn't normally find on an Android device. But it's a nice feature to have. You can play around with your musical settings on there. And the UHealth app, this is something I could never ever get to work on the original UMi Iron, but I have seemed to get it working on the UMi Iron Pro. So what I can do, I can test my stress, so I should be able to put my fingerprint on here. And this little scanner now will see how stressed I am while making this video. So let's see. Again, it's not a fast process. So, come on. How stressed am I? I think my stress level is going up the longer I wait, to be perfectly honest. There we go, I'm not stressed at all apparently. You also have the option of checking your heart rate from the same scanner. So if I put my fingerprint on there, it should now also take my heart rate. I'm not sure how good this is, how accurate it is, but it's a nice little feature to have, and at least it works this time around. It never worked in the past. Alright, so let's see what else we have in here. So as you can see, we've got an app drawer. It is Android 5.1. Let me just double check that. Yeah, Android 5.1 has their own, UMi's own custom icons in here, and those few extra applications. Overall though, if you're used to a regular bog standard Android, the UMi ROM is pretty easy to use. Got our notification area up here and all our different toggles. Got this 30 megapixel camera on the rear too. Again, I do like the look of the UMi camera application. It looks quite nice. But the camera on the Iron Pro seems it's well under par, let's say that. I've taken a few photos with the device and they look a little bit bluish. They've got this blue tint to them, very pale. You know, in the past, you know, when you're used to good cameras with nice vibrant colors, to move to the UMi Iron Pro and get these quite bland or pale colors, it's a bit of a disappointment. So there we go, you can see focus. So look at that black picture. As you can see, look at it, it's very, very pale color. It doesn't really represent the actual real life images that you're looking at. So the rear camera is a bit of a disappointment, but compared to the UMi Iron, it does feel better made. It has that fingerprint scanner, has more RAM. I will need to check out the audio on the phone, using the Viper for All feature, and also to see if UMi have fixed the popping with the Iron. In the past, with the original UMi Iron, plugging a 3.5mm headphone jack in here would create a pop. I think there was a problem with the aluminium or something with the phone and the actual 3.5mm headphone jack, which would cause these pops and crackles when you're listening to music. Hopefully they fixed that with the Iron Pro. Anyway, so that's the phone. Those are the details. 5.5-inch Full HD display, aluminium casing, fingerprint scanner, 13 megapixel camera. Overall, so far, I have to say, build quality is better. It's nice to see those features actually working now with the Iron Pro. Camera is a letdown, and we'll have to see how good the battery life is. So anyway, this is on sale now. If you're thinking of picking it up, I've set a link in the description of the phone where you can buy the phone. And look out for the full review of the UMi Iron Pro coming very soon. Thanks all for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know below. Goodbye.